the Sejuani plus melee top lane champion for Dokla. That has been some important.
Yeah, it's funny because too, even Annie got kind of retro. There we go. We got a gank on top side. Early ghost from Dokla, gets out of the range of the Vault Breaker.
Will he actually escape though? Very, very low, very, very dead. First blood.
Vicla's combo potential here with Tibbers, and they're gonna make a big play off that mid push. Vicla pushed in 2 waves to the turret, which Aurelion Sol does not want to drop. So nice bit of priority here from FlyQuest turned into an objective.
Yeah, nice early Drake before that 8-minute mark, which means there's no Herald to be traded for it across on the other end of the map. So FlyQuest are happy to secure themselves a free neutral objective. It means that if they keep on this pace, they'll also be able to try to play for an early Drake.
As well as maxing W second is actually a lot better than E, which a lot of people are still doing the E seconds. Because your attack speed is so easily procs when you have so much ability haste, and you can just get your E resets there.
Yeah.
Being able to get those big W procs provides you that neutral objective control, being able to stack up those dragons and control the Rift Heralds like Speak is already doing for FlyQuest.
Plus, with the W combined with Black Cleaver, it's so much armor shred, and especially when you have an AD carry like Prince, that you know you can trust to do the damage like that. Armor shred will feel fine, but Prince don't even need it. 2v2.
There by Ayla, level 6 on the Rakan now. Did use his Ignite, and CLG trying to make the cross-map play.
Well, unfortunately for CLG, FlyQuest did not commit any extra men to the bot side play. It was a 2v2 fair fight, so FlyQuest still has 3 guys ready to play around this Herald, potentially try to contest it. Impact's gonna go into the pit first, but Poom has roam. He is the first bottom laner from either side to make his way into the fight. Speaker's ready to go for it, and FlyQuest steals it away. Now Contracts has to flash back over the wall. Vicla's gonna be taken low, and Dokla takes him down. FlyQuest is still fighting, looking for a second one here back in the Contracts. Prince has arrived. The dragon flies away, and Poom tries to run it. Can he get out? Luger's ready to back him up as Speaker takes a lot of damage, and Impact goes underneath the turret to slay a dragon. FlyQuest 5-1.
Flowers, FlyQuest just blew this game wide open. It's 9
seconds until the next Drake spawns, and I feel like you don't want to take a fight in open ground right now if you're CLG. They're just very far behind. They're going in bottom, looking for another play here. Ayla and Spica trying to stay on top of Luger, who has to flash away, and Spica just breaks his jaw. 6-1 FlyQuest.
They dropped 3 wards. Made that lantern look so incredibly useless there. 2 bodies, 3 wards. Rift Herald dropped on the bottom side too. All of the plate money is actually gonna go to Rakan because nobody else. Ayla's getting rich. Everybody on FlyQuest is eating well tonight. Actually, Zaya there splitting as well. Prince finishes off the turret by himself.
Poom and Contracts trying to contest here for the Drake, see if they can find anything. Vicla's gonna rotate over. Remember, he chunked Palafox down earlier. Spica just taunting him with the white flag. He's saying, get out of here, man. There's just nothing left. It looks like CLG has just completely lost any sort of control here.
Away from your opponents. You can see right now, taking away all the vision to make the rotations between those much more difficult for CLG, much more costly, and they just bring everybody up to this outer tower.
Oh no, Palafox. That poor little dragon, I don't think he's going much of anywhere. Falling Star isn't gonna do a thing. Spica goes unstoppable. FlyQuest easily pick up the kill. And with turret plating falling, it means they're gonna try to strong arm this turret now as well. Poom and Contracts still just trying to defend. They might be able to kill Tibbers. Contracts down to 1/3 HP. However, the box is deployed. Prince goes up. Prince comes right back down. He's all right. Contracts not quite the same. Has to fall back to the Krugs trying to heal. Prince is gonna get jumped on there, but it's him who ends up walking away with the money. Poom thought he was making a play, but he's just delivering 300 gold into the FlyQuest AD carries pocket.
Yeah, they're getting strong-armed.
Fortunately, I don't know if Aurelion Sol is passing to 10.
Oh, and they run the coming up next.
Oh, they're already going next.
Evil
man.
Genius's production is ready to get the day started as well.
Well, it's probably going to happen pretty soon based on the current state of the game and the current way things are progressing. Prince has been left up here in the top side to take down the tier 1 turret. Dokla has his Ravenous Hydra to try to at least clear some of this away. However, with the turret already down, and remember,
release the big shockwave.
Yep.
You can steal objective bounties with it as well. You can actually kill epic monsters with the shockwave. So CLG, here we go.
this Sky's Descend is going to need to have an absolutely
It's gonna have to be as big as the
anything.
meteor that killed off the dinosaurs.
Yeah. The dragon needs to kill all the dinosaurs if CLG wants any sort of a chance here in this game. 7,500 gold, the lead for FlyQuest. The next Drake spawning in 25 seconds. Remember, they already secured the first two. Their sole point. If they get this one as well, Contracts goes in after Prince, and he's just immediately down to 1% HP. Impact's coming around looking to finish him off, and there it is. FlyQuest are not done yet. Ayla has to disengage, but it's a double kill back over to the top laner, as now Impact is keeping everybody here. Vikla goes into the dive underneath the turret, and Spica takes down Aurelion Sol. FlyQuest has killed 3. They put the remaining 2 on life support, and they aren't even sweating doing it.
They could probably pick. That's gonna be about it. Looks kind of cool.
It looked really cool, to be honest. I mean, that was badass. Unfortunately, it just didn't really do anything because you're down 8,000 gold.
They're a little bit far behind.
Yeah, their backs are against the wall, man. 12-1. The single kill as well. Remember, these ones are worth a ton of gold.
Here's some more hopium. There's
Okay.
no teleport on Impact, so if CLG forced right now, if they brought all 5 members, they could force a 5v4.
Well, I'm still not quite sure if they're going to win that one because Vikla goes into stasis and they kill the 2 divers while it happens. 2.5 seconds is 2.5 of the enemy jungle. Put down all the vision, sweep out anything that might be remaining. All you need is one single pick and you just take Baron and in the game.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest have done this so far for the entirety of the season. The one little blip on the radar, that one loss to TSM, the upset, but as soon as that happened to them, they just refocused and they picked up right where they left off, kind of running the LCS. CLG fishing around. If they could get a dream steal here.
It's got to be a YOLO play from Contracts, I think. Palafox flying in.
Burn it down, go for it!
Low. They go in for it, they're going to find it. CLG steals the Baron.
It's too late. You know, they're looking for the turn. Hey, Spica, you're the big initiation. Get over here, engage on them. But then, couldn't get back in the pit in time.
Oh, nice timing on the ulti from Spica there. He waits just until he's at the edge of the range to guarantee that Ragnarok
Annie,
is going to wear
2v1?
off, and then dives him. As Vikla escapes from Palafox, yes, it's a low percentage option, but it's probably better than the alternative, so they're just going to go ahead and start this up.
And time is not in their favor, so that's why they're the ones forcing here, even though it's very, very dangerous for them. Spica looking for a little bit of a flank here around on the Vi. They're not looking for a smite steal, they want the fight.
Boom, finding the hook. However, now Impact is diving into the remaining players on CLG. FlyQuest keeping focus back on the Drake. As you can see, there comes a big old meteor. The skies descend, but FlyQuest still stands tall. Doka looks for a way into the fight, but he won't be able to find it. How will they get the kill? Impact, massive damage coming in from the AoE of Aphelios. CLG, they stole the Drake. They win the fight. What in the... Looking for the angle, although now they are very, very aware of just how dangerous Aurelion Sol is. The charm, the damage, the burst. Goodbye to Boom. CLG lose their support, and that's the green light.
For FlyQuest, CLG are looking at the cooldowns right now, though. Vi ultimate and Rakan ultimate both used to kill the Thresh. So as far as 4v5s go, they could definitely still look for something with those initiation cooldowns not available. Low health on the Baron. Can they steal it again?
Impact's just trying to keep everybody else away. The Baron falls. It's secured by Spica. FlyQuester Soul has 330 Stardust. It's about to be even more if he can successfully farm what he needs on that wave. He's got the Skies Descend ready to go again. CLG are going to be too slow to the objective, however, and that means FlyQuest.
Then maybe they can buy the time needed. The Vi ultimate is back off cooldown, though.
Easier said than done, as now Contracts is already going to get killed, but the Skies descend, and Vikla falls immediately. Dokla's into the back line. They run down Prince. They've killed the damage, and Palafox is flying into the back lines of FlyQuest. The dragon roars, and FlyQuest dies. CLG managed to get their fight and hold on against the FlyQuest offensive. Impact looks to make his way out, but Palafox is having...
Touch, they will. Here he comes, though.
They're going after Luger.
Oh, they
Spica
went after...
and Ayla, they just dive bomb into Contracts and take him out. And
to check CLG, and they know without your jungler, there's no hope in CLG coming over to try for a steal, and they definitely don't want the fight.
so CLG can't even approach at their full strength until he's back online. FlyQuest are going to be first ones down into the river. They're the ones with control right now. Palafox only needs to breathe a little bit onto that blue buff, just guarantee that he can take the whole thing. That mana is going to be very useful in what I'm guessing will probably be a pretty drawn-out affair. But FlyQuest are immediately just going to start up the Drake. Contracts has made his way down here. CLG are ready to try to fight, try to challenge for this. The Elder's still being burned down, but not super quickly. CLG still looking for the angle. Palafox drops the ulti and the skies descend. FlyQuest scatter. CLG still looking to make their fight. In the back line goes A-Lane, finds multiple knockdowns, multiple TCs. FlyQuest are going in, and they found the kill into Luger. CLG are absolutely crushed as Boom and Contract barely hold on to life. And Impact ready to rip it away from them. Contracts tries to use a stopwatch, but the clock ticks ever forward, and time's run out for CLG. FlyQuest finally get their fight. They knew what they were walking into. They knew how to get it done. And after 37 minutes, they're gonna find their win.
And they're gonna finish it off with Big Dokes here. Big Dokes trying to cut the minion wave, but there's already members inside the base. He knows it's been lost. They're going to give up the Nexus turrets. FlyQuest with a much better initiation that time around, Flowers. It was Ayla who got 4 members locked up in the Rakan combo, and that caused Luger to use everything. After Luger uses double summoners out of the Rakan initiation.
And I'm excited to see if Aphelios and Thresh can start pushing Zeri and Lulu out.
Yeah, I mean, it's human nature to enjoy novelty, and I guess we've his own jungle.
Oh my god, this is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. FBI below 100 HP has to flash to escape as Turtle and Chime are putting
For the bottom lane to have some pressure. Inspired eventually does finish up his invade, and Akali's a little short to follow, so 3v2 for now.
Ooh, Inspired flashing forward past him to get away from the taunt. Someday has to flash away now as well.
Solo!
Geniuses spent way too much time messing around for a blue buff. The Poro tries to get away, but he's never going anywhere. Maple picks it up, and TSM get a
Rewards for it. You mentioned the blue buff being traded. EG at least off of the reset here with their bottom lane move up, and they will get themselves the dragon in compensation.
That is a very early dragon. 5.5 minutes in means that Evil Geniuses is going to guarantee there's no handshake neutral objective trade as we've seen look at to step up.
And when we're looking forward in the game, I would expect a bottom side punish on no flash FBI.
Oh, FBI trying to get away. Still less than 100 HP. He will barely escape that one thanks to the cleanse. Turtle and
Was under attack.
Solo could be in some serious trouble here if he stays around for a longer fight. Someday just sort of baiting him in here to say, hey man, just come a little bit closer. They're waiting on Inspired. Inspired needs to get EXP from like 1 or 2 minions to get level 6, and then he can throw that Arctic Prison out from the brush. However, Solo is immediately just going to dip out. He's going down into the river. He'll be able to try to, you know, eat some fruits, just hang out a little bit longer, or start up the Rift Herald, and that looks like it's going to be the play. Boogie level 6, he's going to make his way up here.
Oh my.
So now the TSM duo can pick it up.
This is massive, massive stuff from Solo. Using the roam down to go for Rift Herald. Not only do you avoid Inspired, who's waiting up here on Sejuani, more secure.
Well, you've got Boogie seeing if he might be able to succeed where Inspired failed at the top side. Bush Gank, flash to guarantee that he lands the Q. And now he's going to bring in the ulti to lock down the Croc. Someday's trying to run back underneath the turret. He gets a lot of burst back onto Boogie. Someday makes it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, interesting too. Look at the top laners. Both of them routing down towards the dragon, so it's going to be a clash here. While EG are starting it up, TSM will respond.
Now, Solo just about has his teleport, but remember, nothing is unleashed yet, except for Evil Genius's playmaking, man. They just find the angle on Maple, blow him up, and that should guarantee they should be able to, once everybody's back on the board, Maple ready to go here again. He's alive, he's got his flash, he's got his ulti, and he's got his jungler in the dragon pit. Boogie's starting it up.
Yeah, I always love that for Vi, being able to just go right over the back. But Jojo comes down, he sniffs it out, he gets a visual confirmation. Someday no teleport means it still should be a TSM objective, since Solo has teleport advantage. Even though it's free 14 minutes, you can teleport to the tower. Everybody on the side of EG just reset and is walking from base, so TSM
Porting into the bottom lane, and TSM are calling it off.
and you get the full releash there. Remember, they have adjusted Rift Herald to be able to fully reset health. So it's going to be a delayed pickup, but still a pickup for Evil Geniuses. Maple, again, sustains so much damage so early on. He's going Night Harvester Spell Pen shoes, so it is a very squishy Galio. Gets chunked out really early on. They don't get a impactful ultimate out of him. It's a pretty even fight. Everybody's sitting on one item, so I want to see the throwdown here. This is going to be about execution. Rift Herald used mid for mid push first. Love this from EG. Jojo going to stick around in range as well, but here goes initiation.
Oh, Boogie wanted to go for the Q flash, but he does not connect to the FBI, and he had to use the ulti immediately after, but Chime is already about to die, and JoJo gets him. Now Turtle's gonna try to kite it out. TSM have been absolutely crushed. Holy hell!
Disgusting from Evil Geniuses, and a quadra kill for Joe.
Caught off guard. Nope. Never mind, he's going to stop the back, just go towards the Krugs, and the rest of the team will start it up without him, but it does not look like TSM wants anything to do with it.
Yeah, this is definitely the play here. Way too dangerous for them to move in now after that massive swing. And they don't have the necessary setup here. Honestly, they're just trying to make sure a bigger disaster.
Okay, Maple arrives to try to save Solo. They land the taunt on JoJo. They want to follow it up with the wallop, but JoJo, with a nice use of stasis there, manages to avoid any potential counterpunch from the side of TSM. However, TSM sending extra bodies into the bottom lane means that it does clear up space on that top side to take that tier 1 like you're talking about, and the EG lead builds up to 4,500 gold with 2.5 minutes remaining before that soul comes online. Although they bought themselves 5 minutes earlier, like you were talking about.
Pincer.
They're still under pressure for the rest of the game. Someday goes in. Sejuani ulti's not going to find a damn thing. Someday disengaging now as Maple's here on the front. Taunts up 2. Someday's low. Someday's gone. TSM finally finding a bit of a fight like they want. Turtle's pretty low. Has to kite back now. Be a little bit more careful. Evil Geniuses lose 1, and TSM wants to disengage. Turtle and Chime both incredibly low on HP.
Maple putting that AP Galio.
The box. Evil Geniuses keeping their distance. Someday and JoJo looking for opportunities to collapse from the sides. If the core 3 of Inspired, Vulcan, and FBI get jumped on, TSM stepping up again. Vulcan finds the death sentence, and he finds it onto Maple. Maple tries to get away, but Someday's ready and waiting, and the day is today. JoJo is dominating, and Evil Geniuses are running him down. Wild Turtle's stuck in the middle of everybody, and it's a double kill for Aphelios. Boogie and Chime head for the hills, and Evil Geniuses heads towards the Baron. Boogie still doesn't have enough to kill him all by himself. He'll join back up with the rest of the team, and EG gets another big win.
Yeah, a nice bit of patience for EG pays off, Flowers. This Baron is easily going to be theirs, and then they can kind of reset, get back to the other side of the map. JoJo doesn't have teleport, and he's going to show top lane, but there was no Hail Mary play from TSM. The use of this purple gun throughout this game, gets a double root that time around, locks up the kills, and then EG are able to reset with the Baron-empowered recalls, collect their Dragon Soul on.
The structure left standing outside the TSM base is the tier 2 in bottom lane.
And JoJo going for death cap pieces instead of upgrading to Medjai's. That is the only thing I'm disappointed about right now.
You wanted to see the book.
Yeah. Solo, meanwhile, is going to be solo versus 3.
Well, let's see what Boogie can do off to the side. Inspired's going to try to reinforce him. FBI getting back here with a Gale Force, but he won't get back enough. There is exactly what TSM needed.
Solo was just
fishing, and even if he gets a bite, they can't reel him back in time. As they go for a death sentence there with Vulcan. FBI still just providing the damage. This guy is so scary, man. Just look at that. That was 3 auto attacks of the fire just managing to hit Maple. He's half health.
Yeah. I still can't get over how big these shields are, too, on the AD carries nowadays. Meanwhile, Gnar pushing away on top side. Solo at least will get the wave pushing away for TSM while they try and just mitigate. Going to be mounting as they transition into Baron, and now we'll look for the pick. Vulcan.
All right, Vulcan gets the death sentence. It's only on to Solo. They throw out Sejuani ulti. They don't find a lot. Boogie's going to be the target here in the very front as Baron is already secured by the Evil Geniuses. JoJo's in the middle of everything, but Aphelios' ulti nearly one-shots Chime. JoJo stays alive, and EG's now looking to turn this fight back around. FBI is the target. FBI is the man with the plan and about 1,000 health shield. TSM walking down into the bot side river. They now have their eyes on the Elder Drake. JoJo went back. He's got to rejoin with the rest of the team. Chime still half HP.
Exactly. As soon as JoJo does not land that shuriken for the chase, he starts channeling his Baron-empowered recall. Will come back.
Okay, Someday decides to engage on Wild Turtle, but now he's ready to maybe turn it around. Someday has the maul. Malmortius, Solo with a massive Mega Gnar into the wall, and now TSM's looking for a team fight. Solo keeps chasing. FBI's under pressure, but he's stuck into the stasis. TSM has found the enemy of Aphelios. They've got JoJo stuck in the smoke. He'll barely get away. And Maple and TS, he's going to force Solo and Maple to come back and stop him. However, the remaining 3 players of TSM, between Boogie tanking it and having the smite, and then Wild Turtle for the DPS, they will secure the Elder Drake here. I like the move move from JoJo to try to get something back. But holy cow, man, the fact that TSM managed to pull that off was huge. Holy cow, man. This is potentially a very scary situation, but Boogie has been caught. Nice death sentence. And they're going to force the Guardian Angel. He's going to lose it for free. The item ends up being entirely worthless. Boogie, that was bad, man. That quality as a lot of the other ones, but he still might be able to find it if he can get the angle here. Wild Turtle gets engaged on, but they're still disengaging it for now. Solo's stuck in the middle. He goes into stasis. EG still trying to find an angle, still trying to find the move. Maple goes into the taunt. They find a lot, but are they able to find enough? Wild Turtle is down. JoJo's able to find the credit. Chimes on the run, and that will do it. EG is gonna take the game.
The assassination is complete. EG will walk straight to the Nexus.
Evil geniuses walk this one in. Honestly, you gotta know they're not happy about the way it went down. They nearly threw this game. They come back and they win it, but they're still having to figure out so much here this split. They will get the dub. They'll go up to 8 wins. And man, it was a fight getting there.
It's time into it. And so getting a melee champ that can engage over and over with your soul inbound, as soon as you hit the level 6, you're going to have some kill pressure there as well. If he can put a lot of pressure on Bjergsen and open up something for Cloud9 that way.
And Imanez just looked so much better on LeBlanc than he did on Victor. I feel like this guy shines more. Of course, we have a small sample size, but he just seemed much more comfortable on a champion that can sort of make it.
Really does kind of tilt. Especially as far as some of these skill matchups. Meanwhile, though, Blabber going to make the first move towards the objective. Again, feels so good as the Elise. With all of these pushing lanes, basically the world is your oyster.
Yeah, I think 100 or C9 definitely needs to stack dragons because they get outscaled, right? So I think this is really like seeing this one Blabber stacking dragons have another win condition.
Well, it doesn't look like 100 Thieves has any desire to fight for this one. And Ocean Drake really early on feels great for all of the laners, just having that extra regeneration.
If they can get anything in the aftermath, Blabber can just walk around the Scuttle Crab if he hugs the inside wall there, start up this Rift Trail. And this is the problem you're talking about with all losing lanes.
Yeah.
Previous to that play, where Tenacity gets pushed out and shoved back to base, Bjergsen had just been shoved out and pushed back to base. So that's why Cloud9 feels so confident in going for that dive on the big stacked wave there, denying a bunch of minions, by the way. And so we see these CS gaps start to grow. Nice channel here from Bjergsen. Remember, every time you full channel...
Maybe you look at the composition because right now Jace is really far ahead, right? So what C9 wants to do is just play 1-3-1 split push. And they don't have to opt into the 5v5 team fight against 100 Thieves because their side laners will both go inside. So it's just like a different game for both of the teams.
Okay.
So, you know, I think outscale is just, it's very a loose term.
Yeah, especially when they scale in different ways. You know, so much damage on Cloud9's side, as long as they don't get caught.
Now, let's see how much of a fight 100 Thieves wants to put up for this Drake. They go in with Closer's ulti. Sven's gonna get focused down and they blow him up. It's first blood over to Lulu. And 100 Thieves are ready to fight back. With Cloud9's Drake stacking interrupted and their support already dead, we'll have to see if M&S might be able to find something. Berserker with a massive arrow over the wall. He puts it right through their heart. And Bjergsen is about to drop next. He throws down a meteor, but he's immediately cleaned up. M&S is after Doublelift, but he doesn't quite have enough damage to get it done with the missed Q3. Doublelift holds his own, but Cloud9 kills 3.
Oh, Bjergsen shorts his W and gets stuck inside that dragon pit. They're trying to hold the entrance for him to get out, and they just take that massive poke damage. Arrow finds it in the end, Cloud9. It was looking a little scary there at the first pick, but then with the follow-up there and taking it how aggressive Cloud9 can continue to play, pushing mid as well with 3.
Yeah, I feel like 100 Thieves just, honestly, they just don't really have a lot of playmaking at this point. The only engage they have,
Ouch.
Ow.
Spider food.
He is gone.
They can
There's not that much they can do, you know. If I'm in comms, I'm like, okay, guys, we got this. You know, just hold on as much as we can.
C9 is invading the enemy jungle now. Sven's gonna check the tribe rush there with a grenade. Checks it further with some rockets. Closer engages on the enemy Heimerdinger. Sven's gonna be bursted low, but it's 100 Thieves getting bursted lower. M&S goes over the wall, and Blabber goes on a rampage. Both bottom laners are already dead, and Closer's just the cherry on top. C9 has a body count this game.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Blabber!
I think 100 Thieves wants to go home.
To go next angle.
It is looking raw for them.
Yeah, you were saying definitely start blaming Coach already. Okay, now is definitely the time because it is looking out of reach. The Rift Herald already going to get the charge on inhibitor turret as well as the dragon being picked up.
Blabber can just solo down that Drake, so now they're on Soul Point 2. Speaker, you said by 20 minutes you wanted to see them owning every dragon, continuing to stack towards that win con. Well, it's 17 minutes in. They're on Soul Point. Here at around the 22-minute mark is when they will 4 minutes into the game. They're averaging more than plus 1,000 gold per each kill just because so many of the advantages aren't even based around the kills. Look at the damage just pouring in. Doublelift gets a kill on Sven, but is traded back for Busio. Even trade at the gates of the enemy base. The skies descend, but what can they even do? M&S runs in, and Bjergsen tries to run away. M&S snaps back to his origin point, but C9, they're just knocking down the turrets. They're running over the base. Okay.
What is he thinking? Right there.
He's thinking, please don't check this push. Please don't.
It looks like C9's not interested in that. They've got their sights set on Baron. They want to wrap this one up nice and clean. And honestly, 100 Thieves isn't going anywhere close to this thing. C9 picks up Baron just 20 minutes into the game. They're going to have the buff all the way through the spawn of the Dragon Soul if the game even lasts. Full ulti, and with that spin, it means C9 just knows there's one less tool in the tank for 100 Thieves to use to fight back. Mid lane's going to be enchanted there with the Baron, as now M&S engages, and Doublelift dies. It is another absolutely impossible.
Free lane here. Infinity Edge on the way for M&S as well, level 15. He's trying to screen an entire 100 Thieves team, keep him away from that Dragon Soul. Here's the moment.
All right, he jumps over the wall with Q3, looking at closer, because they know if they kill him, there's no way they can lose out on the Soul. There's no chance at a miracle steal. It's Hex Soul for Cloud9.
That was technically a tank.
Yeah,
that he
technically.
just hit in 3 comboed.
There's not a lot of tanks that can really tank much on the side of 100 Thieves now. Nice use of the Wild Growth to interrupt To the Skies from Fudge, but Doublelift is still in no condition to fight back. C9 pushing forward, all 5 men still ready to go. You got the bottom lane inhibitor alive, but C9 is just gonna walk past it. Berserker puts an arrow through Doublelift again. 4 deaths now on the Zeri. Aurelion Soul ulti only serves to mark his grave as Berserker nearly kills 100 Thieves on their own spawn platform. The Nexus dies at 23 minutes, and Cloud9 just beat the hell out of him.
That was a fast one.
I do expect it to be pretty scrappy. Generally, this is a pretty aggressive matchup. You know, melee versus melee. Jax kind of has to scrap with the Gragas because if you don't do anything, you are just slowly going to get chipped away at, and you're going to kind of have to give up that lane. So we'll see how effective he's going to be. And how, at the end of the day, if you are confident that your top laner is a much better laner in the 1v1 as long as he's actually able to play that isolated, then I think it makes sense to spend some resources to cover him, to enable him to do that. And that thus far has been what Piotrek has done. He has spent his time around top, has garnered them about a 2-wave lead, and the wave is actually pushing out towards Summit, so it should increase a little bit here on the bounce. So we'll have to see if he can then execute with that lead and extend it or make good on it in the team fights. Again, I do think this is a good matchup for the Gragas into the...
And beyond when you do get into that team fight territory later. So Team Liquid extending a bit of that CS lead over on the top side. It's the first focus down on objectives we're getting. River had just taken that Rift Herald over top, and Team Liquid's response is to collapse upon this dragon to get the first of the game.
Yep. And so far, checking on the stack, 65 Stardust there for
all the more on that bot side. But the gold itself fairly even despite little leads here and there in the lanes.
Yeah, has been very even overall. Piotrek again behind him, and now Licorice could be in trouble.
Over the wall, through the jungle, upon Licorice, they go, flash away, but a flash response. First blood for Team Liquid.
And finally, TL gets something on that top side, but does cost...
Bot lane was obviously going for a lot of the aggressive trades, and then top side worried about Piotrek making those rotations, but now that first dragon was taken and the Rift Herald's getting marched down, those supports are starting to unlock themselves from their bot laners.
Yep, absolutely. Trying to sort of make some moves on the map, trying to get...
There's the one angle of only 3 weeks left in the regular season. There's the other angle of there's still a lot that can happen in 3 weeks in the regular season. And a lot that can happen right now in the game as we see some of the first team fighting. River trying to swirl his way out of there. A stun onto 2 from the Tibbers. Lock up. Pioshik going down. Golden Guardians trading jungler for jungler as the pursuit still stands. Core JJ eliminated. Some Qs over the wall from Stixay to get Jan out of there. GG out on top in the fight.
Yeah, nicely done. The initial engage looked like it was pretty good on the River, but when you can't finish him off, he was able to take so much damage and get an incredible amount of value still out. And it doesn't feel like he's been here for that long. And you're like, wait, that was 8 years ago.
Do you feel like that's your kind of graduating class in a way?
Yeah, a little bit, right? It's fun to see someone who came in at a similar time, back here, really getting things done. But Golden Guardians right back out towards that dragon. Gonna try to take the second one. They want to prevent TL from stacking them up, but it's TL actually TPing in with Summit. This TP is looking very high. Playing in this melee versus melee matchup, Core could be in trouble.
Oh, locked on to Core, blasted down. GG finding the pick here across mid.
Yeah, nicely done. Core does actually have Mercs, but even with the Mercs, the CC is really take right now, so it is just going to be that kill gold and a little bit of pressure on the map and likely the reset.
Rift Herald number 2 being dropped down. The first one was brought by Golden Guardians and slammed into the mid lane. Now we're getting the reversal of that. 4 members of Team Liquid here to accompany the crash. So Team Liquid, they had established a gold lead that Golden Guardians, through that pick and other presence across, has been trying to keep contained as much as possible. And then now wary of what's happening in the top side. Licorice, after pushing long onto the turret, Summit in pursuit, but the leap away. Slam not connecting, but the damage is good. And another jungler intervention with the cease and desist. Licorice down again.
Yeah, Licorice trying to knock down that tower, trying to get a trade on top side, utilize that demolish, utilize his sheen. So far ahead in gold of where Licorice is at this point. He is well over 2,000 gold, about 2,400 gold ahead of his lane counterpart.
Which Team Liquid is very happy about when looking at this dragon being up, Golden Guardians in the vicinity, but Team Liquid right on the ground. Oh, a flash on out for Hui and blasted away. Summit is here to stay. Ultimate comes on through from Harry, and Gory is going for gold. Harry continuing to poke out with the Q. Pioshik on top of 1 for the first kill of this fight, or the second rather, as Gory goes down. Summit wanting to lead the charge for the rest of Team Liquid. Onto Licorice they go. Another knockup. River cannot help the rest of the squad. 3 eliminated for Golden Guardians. Rest on the retreat, and Team Liquid as they...
Before he would ever actually outscale Summit, right? He's more than a full item behind. And now TL are just going to say, you know what? Licorice, you show bot. You've got to TP top. You've got to answer the Baron right now.
Immediately doing so, and Team Liquid, they are burning this down, looking for GG to try and make their entrance. The ward over in the favor, go in with the Tibbers and trying to get the lock for JJ into the backline with the quickness, and even with Vi with the ultimate, tries to find the target. Licorice isolated off against Summit alongside Huhi, but Team Liquid, they're going after the carries, they're going after the ones that are most important in this fight. They take down the jungler, they take down the biggest damage threats, so it's just Licorice and just the dragon with the breath burning on down. Team Liquid, they managed to get what they're looking for to set up with this Baron.
Yeah, that is a huge team fight for TL, and that is very likely going to be the end of the win streak here for Golden Guardians, sitting at 7 straight wins coming into this weekend here. They are now up against it 25 minutes in. It is nearly to deal with. Nice attempt on the arrow there from Hu. He had a pretty good angle, but
River Dunzo. Golden Guardians, when they saw all of Team Liquid except for Harry at the time pushing in, they wanted to find some sort of collapse, but got punished and lost their jungler instead. Purple still being worn by Team Liquid. The attempt onto Jan from Licorice, who has to flash out with Grandmaster already activated here. Core JJ in response wants to use the engage tools we love to see. Core JJ does go down, but that's with 2 eliminated from Golden Guardians, here to make their last stand across this mid inhibitor.
On this, there's so much poke coming out from the other team. You can see the constant cues coming out from the Varus, non-stop poke coming out from this Gragas as well. And when Gory's not even having his flash available, it's very difficult for the Annie to ever even get her way in that fight. You're outranged pretty heavily by most of those members. Not been working at all. So let them do something different. They're able to easily dodge out of that engage with Harry, but this game, they put all their eggs into the Summit basket. They're playing a different style of bot lane. They're playing very heavily poke focused. They get counterpick for Summit, and you just camp for him, right? And they put him in a spot where he is playing from so far ahead that it's difficult for their opponents to catch up.
Here he does get pretty chunked, but finds the escape, and now poor JJ hits the go button, answered by a stopwatch by River, but it just prolongs the inevitable. Team Liquid, they see GG try to keep them off, but they keep on going. Licorice, the next one to go into stasis before popping right back up into a lot of damage. Can Glory come in for some assistance to try and connect with the stun on multiple? But it's just Harry here trying to make groundwork of Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians, though, now down 3. Glory and Stixay on the retreat. No bodies between these carries and the rest of the squad. Team Liquid out on top in the fight again. Onto the Nexus turrets they descend and bring a victory, ending the streak of Golden Guardians.
Now when the skies descend and it covers the whole screen, you know that's when it's time to get out of the game. Team Liquid with their best win of the split, playing a focus style, heavily looking at their gold graphs. They've had a good 4 or 5 games where they were actually pretty in the lead at about 15 minutes. They were ahead. So
their victory. It seems like they're taking a bit of that tempered approach to this latter portion of the regular season. Some of that sleepy time down mid and forced to flash away.
Kemby didn't Q flash. He had him dead to rights. That was so close to hitting. I think Kemby thought pressure on him on that level 1, so putting him behind early. They had the counter pick as well for revenge, so potentially that's why they were comfortable giving that over. You can see Bolulu has a smite. So they do have his smite to secure it because Kemby did not actually have his available and are going to be able to grab that first dragon for themselves.
You just need one, and they had one. Starting up on the Rift Herald has the presence of revenge alongside with this rotation from Fleshy to support this topside objective taking. Any potential intervention from Dignitas with the rest of the team at the ready. They want to step into this, getting the stun and the shove and the flash away from Revenge. Attempted knock by Armut. A follow, a stun, and an ace in the hole to finish off. Tomo picking up first blood.
One of the carries, but in this case, feels so nice for Tomo. They are going to drop Herald bot. They recognize they need to keep tactical in this game. Can't allow him to be falling too far behind. So if you can actually zone Tomo off this wave, plus get the plate cracks there, looks like Solo played gold as well. Went over to tactical. I saw the 175 pocket. I'm not sure if that was from 2 plates combined or if he did actually in fact get solo. But either way, nice little injection of gold. Absolutely. I mean, their top side has a lot of ability to CC chain. Jensen flashing back though.
Trying to assist. Kemby going in for it. Santorin with the ultimate in response. Jensen eliminated by Immortals here with the pressure.
Yeah, and that time they fully commit. They're making no mistake about it. Flash on Kemby, flash Ignite on Bolulu, flash on Flesh. It actually creates space from that buy. As Tomo back here to bot lane, they're actually looking for this kill in Tactical, and he is very far up, but he's looking for the 1v2.
Tactical wants to take Tomo down, throws down the ult, tries to slide it back, but Tomo...
Unfortunately, another kill going on to Tomo, so paying for his greed there a little bit. Dignitas will spot them on this dragon, but not really in position to contest, unfortunately for them. It looks like it's just going to have to be given over there to Kenby as Immortals grab regen right back to full and create that space for his carries.
And Santorin, just known to be a very intelligent mind, takes one for the team type player. To build this way makes a lot of sense with his approach. And right now, over on the top side, getting one to sleep in the pursuit here by Fleshy for the lock and the quickness, and Armut, the target of tons of effort from Immortals to finish him off before they can rotate on over. But Santorin with a responsive ultimate as well. Ace in the hole again, but don't even need it to finish it off. Jensen, this time...
Dignitas do arrive. The punish is there. They get a kill back. They're trying to look to challenge here. Can Bolulu find anything? They proc the eye, so now it's just going to be a 50-50. The eye is not going to actually spawn again. And Santorin's team has left him. Oh, and Kemby gets the smite.
Gets it, trying to find a wall right now. Ignar with the tether for the root. Jensen throwing down the divide so they can make sure to finish off Kenby before he has any escape. No flash at the ready. Santorin with the kill credit.
Definitely in their hands.
And right now, this is that Rift Herald that we saw the fight to the smite for, and Immortals getting the charge here on mid, but lots of damage coming down from Dignitas means they can't actually finish it up. The dragon being up, this is what you do a lot of times with that Rift Herald, put that pressure over towards mid so that you can start up on the dragon.
Yeah, and one of the difficulties here is Arma, if you actually look at the minimap, he's coming from below, but he's got no Mega Gnar at all. He's got no Gnar bar, so he can't actually go for an early flank. Santorin takes to this poke, but Hasn't had time to Warmogs it up just yet. Gonna be a 50-50 potentially.
Ignar took so much damage from the Lulu there and backs off. Third dragon now for...
It doesn't need to be this Xayah. Xayah's playing Cleanse. Xayah has the ultimate. Xayah has the Gale Force. You're not going to be consistent on connecting ultimates on the Sejuani to her, so you just have to take those targets that as they show themselves. Tomo in some trouble here potentially.
Has the shielding from Ignar, had the flash, but the response from Balulu to come back on that, and another sleep. Look at the dish back damage onto Kenby, though, as Santorin comes in with the assault. Tomo kill, 2 down for Immortals.
That is huge. Tomo able to cleanse out of that ultimate from Santorin, I think. So a great pickup from him. Keeps himself safe. But again, you have early prio, you have control around the dragon. Whatever team gets there first is going to have such an advantage. You know, I talked about the strength of Zoe and Jace, you know, playing around there, but likewise for the other team, trying to actually...
With their front line to start dishing out that damage immediately. Here's a teleport coming in with Revenge, sandwiched between Jensen and Arma. Tomo as well. Revenge making sure to make his way over towards Tactical using that flash, but Santorin followed by Fleshly face in the hole to get it onto Revenge. Now the rest of Immortals, they are worried. A stun up and more onto Tactical, who uses the Featherstorm in response to get the kill onto Santorin. Dignitas are still in. Look at that damage though. Jensen in stasis, but immediately back up and down again.
So when they just funnel forward into that corridor, he shredded them. And that could actually be the straw that breaks the camel's back here a little bit. Jensen making a huge error. Arma's going to try to get in there. He's trying to prop up that Narbar.
Teleport in the center. Dignitas still keeping themselves around. Baron burn down. Immortals want to find some damage onto Arma. Dignitas making their dance, but they couldn't find...
I think was fine. They got so much pressure down onto Tactical. Yes, Santorin did have to give his life for it. Arma's going to look though, but this is kind of risky.
Stun onto Revenge. Ignar making sure to speed up. Lots of damage back onto Ignar. Tomo finishing off Revenge to the best of his ability and can be into the back line. Gets there with the ultimate, out with the Q, and another pop from Tomo.
The fact that Xayah still had the feathers to pull back. They got punished so heavily. It does cost them the Baron. But at the very least, Dig did get a couple kills back afterwards. Tomo, though.
Another revive into the back. Tomo flashing away and can be also on the exit. Fleshy making sure to stay by Tactical side. They want to keep him alive, and they do have that poke for themselves to get that damage onto Ignar, to get that damage onto Santorin. Weaver's Wall for the separation of one. Sleep onto Armut. Revenge into the back, but ends up giving his life for it. Dignitas see if they can capitalize upon getting that kill.
Kill the Caitlyn, just focus her, burst her down. But very long range. You know, if you have summoners available, if you have Gale Force mobility available, 90 caliber net to actually pull back as well, it's tough to actually burst through. You know, that looks like nearly 3,000 health that they're basically having to get through with those shields as well.
To somebody else if you can't reach Tomo. How are you breaking into this? But it's Dignitas that are the ones setting it up. Another Weaver's Wall coming in from Jensen to get the separation. Blade coming in the opposite direction for Tactical. Dignitas now starting to get bundled together, but they feel nice and healthy. They feel very comfortable in their HP, but Fleshy from over the wall gets the multi-hit, but goes down. A knock from Armut, but it's 2 eliminated from Immortals for the one trade on Dignitas. Revenge on the retreat, separated from Kenvi, who gets stunned up and delayed, going for the blast cone hit, but you've got all kinds of terrain under you, Jensen, to be able to finish that. First to rotate over towards this Baron side, set up some vision. They know where Immortals are coming from over on mid, and some of what was working out for Immortals before, not so much now.
They do have to be careful though. I don't like that Dignitas is actually playing to Baron side with Dragon spawning, because it's their opponents who have soul point.
Santorin's the one to go and get locked into it, gets knocked up on the response, and a bit of a switcheroo as Fleshy gets knocked down to 50% HP. Tomo with all the shields at the ready. Look at the way he's able to poke down, even though Armut and Santorin have been brought low. Even that is enough HP to jungler for support.
Yeah, and Santorin's just going to go right back to full because he has the Warmog, so he heals right back to full. And they're just going to start up this Baron, but Bolulu does have a flash stolen. Could look for a play. Oh, he gets asleep!
sleep, but can't get the follow-up because Dignitas respond as much as possible. They're still on the Baron. Lots of damage onto Balulu. Revenge, the one looking for the play onto Tomo, who goes into stasis. Jensen trying to hit with the Q, but for Balulu over the wall, it's still Santorin to secure the Baron. All the while, does Revenge want to continue follow-up? Another sleep this time onto Santorin. A good follow-up and another slap. They'll do it tactical with the kill credit. In stasis, Revenge is now tactical here with the ultimate and more blades, more feathers to be rained into Jensen. And that Baron buff that does remain only does so on 2 members of Dignitas, so less they will be able to grant themselves off of that play. Santorin wants to get the lock onto Kenvi, and asleep in the process, but okay with taking that. Always going to be the one willing to tank that for the rest of the squad.
Yep, just tanking it right back up. There's the Warmogs, but you can see, Armut's in trouble, but he's gonna make an R.
Yeah, going for the play, trying to get to Slam, gets a nice stun up. Revenge, Fleshy is separated, flashes over the wall to get towards the protection of the turret, and as soon as this GA is popped, Revenge is stopped.
That is a big kill the team, but it's Armut finding a lot of these angles. You know, his scoreline not looking as impressive, but he has found a lot of really great ultis that have been key moments for them. Jensen, though, you are dead.
They were waiting. They knew Jensen was coming. And Immortals get the pick, but all the while, Dignitas across mid. They grab ultimate, does not have flash.
Yeah, Tomo, though, walking a weird way. He's got to be careful. Now they're split here.
By ultimate onto Arma, gets a slam, shuggy. Kevi coming out of stasis in a moment's time. 2 down for Dignitas. Immortals trying to respond. The Featherstorm goes out, and even though there's a sleep on one, they don't even have to wait for it to finish off because Immortals get the kill. They've lost 2 in the process, though. Tomo still nice and healthy. Tomo still with the work of Ignar. Revenge coming on the teleport to wrap around if needed. Ultimate not enough to finish off against Tactical, but Tomo...
Folks, he's gonna have to base and TP back.
And make it for this fight because it's going to be a crucial one here at 41 minutes. Immortals, they are working with that Cloud Soul. They're working towards their objective focus on this bot side, and now matched this time around by the Dignitas presence. Jensen across that mid lane. Fleshy sought out. It's Armut and Fleshy that are still both looking for those angles.
Look at Jensen. He's just shoving mid lane. He's trying to force this pressure onto those Nexus turrets. He has ulti to join. So Immortals got to force. They got to force on this dragon. Make Dignitas do something here. You can't just give them time. He can end the game.
Oh, they're getting Revenge to back towards the base, and Santorin and the team getting collapsed upon by Immortals. They take down Tomo, and here in the base, though, Dignitas, they're still here. We're able to handle Revenge. They've gotten one of the turrets. Oh, it's Dignitas. They know what play matters, and they know that it's the Nexus. Fleshy has arrived. Armut and Jensen still focusing down onto the Nexus, but the entirety of the team right here are able to get them off of it. What an attempt.
Jump onto some of these players from Dignitas as they respawn. Maybe they can kill them off and try to end. Looks like the call is to go for it.
How much are they willing to push forward on this with Fleshy already low, looking to get a charm up, and teleport coming in from Immortals, but Dignitas, they're here to make their stand. Kevi eliminated Ignar and Tomo, and the rest can make, God! They took him down! The 3 down for Dignitas, 2 for Immortals, they back on out.
But the burst from Zoe is going to be really high, and Revenge is there as well. So this is really sketch. They got to block the poke over the wall and try to burst this somehow because they have no smite secure.
They're looking for it. Dignitas, they're still on it. Over the wall. Immortals, can they find the vision? Can they find the poke? Can they find the moment? Balulu finishing it off for Immortals. They get the
through the Caitlyn traps. So they just need to try to wave clear this out. Jensen going to throw out that ulti to zone them off.
Keeping them into a fish barrel best they can. Tactical going in for the feather, storming into the backline. Kevi takes down a lot of damage. A charm on Arma means that he is...
He was so close. It looked like he had just basically a full bar, but couldn't actually get it. And now they're pushing in here. There's such a long time on Arma. Nearly 40 seconds. Tomo!
Oh, they got the root. Tomo has to get him back and down. Dignitas cannot keep their carry protected. And even with the GA popping up now for Revenge, a full collapse onto the Nexus. It's time for a Nexus to be taken down finally.
Tactical goes in there, catches Tomo out, solos out the enemy AD.